It's really something, isn't it? How the world of animals never stops surprising us with moments that take our breath away. That's exactly why we're heading into the wild to share with you 20 incredible moments from the animal world that, thankfully, were caught on camera. We're setting off on an adventure into nature to see some amazing acts. 20. The sea lion decides it's time to take a nap. The peaceful and beautiful Galapagos Islands, where sea lions are not just the stars of the sea, but also the clowns of the beach. Let me tell you about Wendy, a sea lion who loves to be the center of attention and could easily out-funny any comedy movie star. One sunny afternoon at a beachside hotel, Wendy and her friend Lulu saw their chance for some fun. They spotted a cozy sunbed that no one was using, bathed in sunlight. Wendy, with the skill of a pro, claimed it as her own, making it her personal spot for soaking up the sun. The person who had brought the chair couldn't help but laugh when he saw what was happening. He knew Wendy and Lulu and their funny ways. Wendy relaxed on the chair like she owned it, occasionally looking at him as if to say, "It's mine now." This was no ordinary day at the beach. It was a moment filled with laughter and surprises, all thanks to the playful spirit of the Galapagos sea lions. 19. Crocodile. The beach is usually all about chill vibes, deciding if you want to hit the water or just catch some sun. But imagine the surprise when, back in January 2019 at Tayrona National Park in Colombia, a day at the beach took a wild turn. This place, known for its stunning mix of sun, sea, and sand, gave visitors a story they'd never forget. Out of nowhere, a crocodile decided to take a casual stroll across the beach. Yes, a real crocodile. It strolled by, making everyone do a double take. Instead of relaxing, people were suddenly rushing to grab their things and find a spot far away from our reptilian friend. Caught on video by someone who was quick to react, this scene turned a laid-back beach day upside down. Just like that, chilling out turned into a scramble to get out of the way, showing just how fast a calm day can flip when nature decides to show up unexpectedly. Later on, the local experts let everyone know that, despite the surprise, the crocodiles in this park are generally calm. With about 15 of them living there, seeing one isn't common, but it's not impossible either. This unexpected guest reminded everyone that nature is full of surprises, making a simple beach day into an unforgettable adventure. 18. Bobcat gone wild. In the small town of Burgore in North Carolina, something really surprising happened one morning on April 9, 2021. Christy and Happy Wade were about to take their cat to the vet like any other day, when suddenly something wild happened. A wild bobcat appeared out of nowhere. It all started when they heard a scary growl near their car. Soon after, Christy started screaming because the bobcat jumped on her, showing how fast and fierce it was. This scary moment was caught on a video that was shared on Twitter. Happy didn't waste a moment. He fought off the bobcat with a lot of bravery, throwing it across their yard to keep Christy safe. The video captured this intense and hard-to-believe scene. Happy was prepared to continue protecting them as the recording ended. Things escalated when Happy had to ensure the bobcat couldn't pose a threat anymore because it was found to have rabies. 17. Bear trapped inside Connecticut car. Right in the calm corner of northwest Connecticut, what seemed like an ordinary Friday evening suddenly turned into something out of a funny movie. There's this guy who noticed the lights of his mother-in-law's car flashing on and off. Since she was already asleep, he decided to see what was going on. To his surprise, he found a black bear inside the car, looking just as surprised as if it had been caught sneaking a quick nap. The bear had looked through the man's truck first but found nothing interesting. Yet, it couldn't resist the smell of a McDonald's bag left in the mother-in-law's car. Trying to get out, the bear shook the car, making everyone watching both worried and entertained. The team from Connecticut's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection quickly came up with a plan. They used a rope to open the door and a beanbag round to encourage the bear to leave its unexpected hiding spot. Looking back, the man thought a cookie he forgot in his truck might have attracted the bear at first, turning a normal night into an unforgettable encounter with nature right in the suburbs. 16. Silhouette of big fish. Sometimes a day starts off just like any other, and then all of a sudden it turns into something you'll never forget. That's exactly what happened on a sunny day in Dana Point, Southern California. There were a bunch of surfers out in the ocean. They were in their sleek, dark wetsuits, just hanging out on their surfboards, waiting for the perfect wave. But the ocean had a big surprise in store for them. A massive whale decided to show up, and it was nothing short of spectacular. The surfers, sitting on their boards, got to see something incredible. Right under them, the large shape of the whale moved through the water so gracefully, it was hard to believe something that big could do that. They couldn't believe their eyes as the whale swam right beneath them. And who do we thank for catching this amazing moment on camera? A drone operator named Peyton Landas. 15. Monitor lizard in toilet. Stories about snakes showing up in toilets can send shivers down anyone's spine, right? Well, sit tight because I've got a tale that might just make your skin crawl. Let's talk about a tourist in Thailand who had the scare of their life. A huge monitor lizard decided to make a grand entrance right out of a toilet bowl. That's correct. Just when you thought it was safe to go to the bathroom, this enormous lizard turns a simple trip into something you'd never forget. The video captures the tourist stepping back in shock as the monitor lizard casually leaves the bathroom. You can only imagine what was going through their head. Definitely a vacation story they'll be talking about for ages. So, a little tip if you're visiting Thailand: always check the toilet before you get too comfortable. Life's full of surprises, and sometimes they might just come out of a toilet bowl. 14. The protective dog. I know you've probably heard those amazing stories about pets who seem to have a sixth sense, showing incredible smarts and faithfulness, right? Well, believe it or not, these aren't just made-up stories. Our pets really do show an amazing level of care and understanding. Take Mattia, for example, a hero dog on a French beach who showed exactly what it means to be a devoted companion. Back in the summer of 2018, Mattia became a protector for his owner's little granddaughter. The girl was having the time of her life playing near the sea, a picture of innocence and joy. But the beach, while full of fun, can also hide dangers, especially for a young child. Mattia, with his sharp dog instincts, sensed something wasn't right. The sea's gentle waves might look inviting, but they can quickly become risky. Mattia, showing the wisdom and care only a loyal pet could, stepped in. He gently nudged the little girl and tugged at her t-shirt, guiding her away from the water's edge back to the safety of the beach. His actions, met with her laughter, not only kept her safe, but also showed the deep bond between humans and their pets. 13. Mama bear and cubs. Is there ever a time when you've seen nature get really intense? Well, one summer day at Cades Cove, things took a surprising turn. A guy got way too close to some bear cubs, kicking off a super tense situation. Paige Marple was there and got it all on video. She caught him sneaking up to the cubs, making clicking sounds to draw them closer. At first, the mama bear didn't notice because a car was in the way. But when she did, things got real fast. She charged at the guy in full protective mode. Everyone watching, including Marple, held their breath, thinking this could end badly. After the scare, the guy looked around, probably hoping for some claps or something, but all he got were looks of disapproval from everyone. The park rangers are now looking into it, pointing out a big worry. These kinds of human run-ins can be bad news for both people and animals. It can lead to wildlife getting too used to humans, which never ends well. This whole thing is a stark reminder of what happened to a friendly black bear in Oregon. The lesson here: always keep a respectful distance from wild animals. Let's not disturb them. 12. Police dog interrupts match. Now, nothing beats those moments that just bring a big smile to your face, right? Those little surprises that life hands us can be pretty amazing. Well, something unforgettable happened during the final match of Brazil's Campeonato Pernambucano de Futebol. Nautico and Retro were going head-to-head, with Retro nabbing a 1-0 win. But the spotlight quickly shifted to an unexpected guest, a police German shepherd full of energy who sprinted onto the field, wanting in on the action. This wasn't your typical game interruption. The dog joyfully dodged players, making off with the soccer ball and turning the field into its playground. Both the crowd and players couldn't help but be charmed by this delightful display. Captured and shared for all to see, this moment won hearts everywhere, especially when the dog was gently led away by two officers, its tail wagging happily. Rattlesnake back to water. On a peaceful day in August 2017, Sam Corliss was hanging out on Ocracoke Island in North Carolina. That day, he was about to witness something pretty out of the ordinary. As he was enjoying the quietness by the sea, he stumbled upon a timber rattlesnake. Now, this wasn't your everyday sight of a snake lounging in the sun on the sand. This snake was actually making its way into the ocean, swimming around with its head above the water, looking like it was right where it belonged. Sam, who found himself the only one watching this unexpected scene, didn't waste a moment. He started recording, capturing clear proof of the snake's swim in the sea. He watched the snake move through the water on purpose, thinking it might have come from a bird sanctuary on the island, a guess backed up by the tracks it left on the sand. This rare sight of a snake at the beach was not just a story to tell friends. It was also a striking example of how nature always has the power to surprise us. 10. Too clingy. Sometimes life throws us these moments that make us stop and think, wow, did that really just happen? I want to share an unbelievable story about Giuseppe Tortorella and his friend Roberto. They were swimming close to Torre del Greco in Naples, Italy, when something out of the ordinary happened. They ran into an octopus, but this was no regular encounter. This octopus seemed to really like Giuseppe. This octopus wasn't shy at all. In fact, it decided that Giuseppe was its new best friend and went in for a hug. Yes, you heard that right. The crew on a nearby boat caught the whole scene on camera. There was Giuseppe, all suited up for diving, which must have somehow caught the attention of this eight-legged creature. Giuseppe tried to gently get the octopus to let go, but this octopus was like the friend who just won't stop hugging you no matter what. It was a mix of funny and surprising to see. An octopus, usually seen as a bit of a loner in the ocean, decided that Giuseppe was its buddy for the day. 9. Baby sloth back home. Here comes one of those heart-melting videos of animals being rescued. Well, there's this one story from Playa Cocos in Costa Rica that's just beautiful. At the Jaguar Rescue Center, they had a mission that'll tug at your heartstrings. They needed to get a tiny baby sloth back to its mom. Some tourists found the little guy all alone on the beach, covered in sand and ants. Despite looking healthy, this small sloth, no bigger than a soup can, was in real trouble without its mom. Finding the mom at first didn't go well, so Encar Garcia, who started the rescue center, tried something pretty smart. They played recordings of the baby sloth's cries over a loudspeaker, hoping the mom would hear. And guess what? Around sunset, A grown sloth started making its way down a tree, coming towards the sound of its baby crying. When Garcia, holding the baby, approached, the adult sloth reached out and pulled its baby close. Watching that moment, when they finally got back together, was so emotional that everyone around couldn't help but tear up. 8. Cats swimming. Now, I don't know if you've caught wind of this story I came across about two cats, Nathan and Winnie. These two aren't your average homebound pets. They're explorers at heart with a bold streak that led them to a stunning beach. At first, they looked out at the sea, a big, mysterious place with a bit of caution and a lot of curiosity. The ocean was new to them, vast and full of unknowns. But their adventurous spirit quickly took over. Throwing caution to the wind, Nathan and Winnie dived right into the ocean's waves, turning hesitation into excitement. Watching them, you'd think they believed they were born for this, swimming through the water as if it was their natural habitat. Their little paws kicked up water, creating a playful scene of splashing around. For anyone watching, it was clear. These two cats were showing the world that they were meant to explore, to dive into new experiences head first. 7. Turtle in alligator's jaw. Let me share a wild story that happened to Brian Schnapp and his wife while they were exploring Brazos Bend State Park, about 45 miles away from Houston. They were walking along the 40-acre lake trail one late Tuesday morning when suddenly they heard splashing sounds coming from a nearby marsh. Curious, they moved closer to the water and stumbled upon a scene right out of a nature show. A huge American alligator, around 6-7 feet long, had caught a turtle in its mouth. They watched as the alligator tried to eat the turtle, but the turtle kept slipping away. After the third attempt, in a surprising turn of events, the turtle escaped and quickly swam back to the safety of the lake, leaving the alligator there, probably wondering what just went wrong. Brian managed to take photos of this incredible moment and shared them on a Texas State Park's Facebook page, where people were amazed by the story. 6. Why is Koala in the car? Dive into a story from Australia that's as surprising as it is wonderful. There was a guy taking a drive with his dog, soaking up the peace and quiet, when suddenly a koala hops into their car, turning an ordinary day into something incredible. This wasn't your average drop-in. This koala, with a mix of boldness and innocence, was determined to make the car its new hangout, not heeding the man's confused and gentle attempts to persuade it to leave. "Come on, let's hop out of the car. Can you go the other way?" he asked, only to be met with a calm refusal from the koala. This little adventurer wasn't just looking for a friend. It was a living example of the challenges wild animals face, from losing their homes to human development to escaping natural disasters like bushfires. 5. Pufferfish lost. Usually, you'd hear seagulls and see waves at the beach, but this time, people got to see something not so common: a pufferfish trying to find its way back to the water. These fish usually puff up as a way to scare off any danger, but this little guy was facing something totally different. Instead of dodging predators in the water, it found itself stuck on the beach, looking all surprised and out of place with its spiky body. It was definitely not your everyday beach scene, and the folks there couldn't just walk by without noticing. Then, something pretty cool happened. A person walking by saw the pufferfish struggling and decided to help it out. This simple act of kindness, not just walking past but stopping to help a little fish in trouble, turned an ordinary beach day into something special. 4. Reported gets interrupted. So, there's this touching moment that happened in Nairobi, Kenya, right in the middle of the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust. Reporter Alvin Kaunda was there, doing a live news report about how human actions affect nature. What he didn't see coming was a sweet interaction that would end up stealing the show. While Alvin was talking, this orphaned elephant quietly walked into the shot, curious and looking for some company. In a really gentle way, the elephant started exploring with its trunk, first around Alvin's ear and then going up over his head. It was such a tender moment, kind of blending in with the story Alvin was trying to tell. Even when the elephant's trunk moved towards his mouth, Alvin kept his cool, mixing professionalism with a bit of fun, laughing off the unexpected guest's actions. He shared that he could feel the elephant's trunk on his back, but just kept going with his report, not letting it distract him too much. 3. Stranded dolphin. Walking along the beach, you might expect to find shells or driftwood, but now Dreyer, who runs Pelican Point kayaking, stumbled upon something much more heart-tugging one sunny day in June 2016. He found a baby dolphin on the sand, far from its ocean home, a sight that instantly makes you want to help. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, Dreyer didn't hesitate. He carefully picked up the young dolphin with both urgency and gentleness, carrying it back to the water where it belongs. As soon as the dolphin felt the ocean around it, it sprang back to life, swimming away into the deep, maybe sending a silent thank you back to its rescuer. This moment between Dreyer and the dolphin was more than just a good deed. It was a powerful reminder of the unspoken agreement we have with nature to protect and respect its creatures. 2. Seagull steals Doritos. In Aberdeen, Scotland, there's this seagull named Sam who could star in his own comedy about snack heists. This bird has a serious thing for Doritos, especially the cheese-flavored ones. One day, Sam decided he wanted some Doritos, so he just walked into an R.S. McCall newsagent, grabbed a bag with his beak, and casually walked out, leaving everyone who saw it both surprised and laughing. But this wasn't the first time Sam had pulled off something like this. He's known around town for swiping snacks. Before the Doritos, it was a bag of chips. It seems like Sam just can't resist the call of junk food, and his antics have made him pretty popular. There's something about Sam's adventures that everyone finds endearing. Maybe it's the way these little episodes bring a smile, or perhaps it's the quirky bond formed over the love of snacks. If you ever find yourself eating outside in Sam's territory, watch out for him. You might end up being part of his next daring snack grab. 1. Lion and his buddies. There's this wild story from London, right in the middle of the fancy Harrods store. 2 guys from Australia, Ace Bork and John Rendell, find themselves buying a lion cub. They name him Christian, kind of a funny name considering old stories where lions weren't exactly friendly to Christians. They bought him for £250, which is pretty out there for a pet, especially a lion. Christian became more than just a pet. He was like a bridge from the wild to city life. Bork and Rendell treated him like a king, even taking him for walks and to the beach. But as Christian got bigger, they knew London wasn't the right place for a lion. So they made the tough choice to send him back to the wild in Kenya. Years later, these guys decided to go look for Christian in Kenya, even though everyone said Christian probably wouldn't remember them. But guess what? When they found him, Christian not only remembered them, but also gave them a heartwarming welcome. It was as if he never forgot the bond they shared, proving that friendship doesn't know the difference between man and beast. And that brings us to the close of our discussion about these amazing moments with animals that were caught on camera. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you think about these wonderful scenes. Let's also stay alert because you never know what other amazing events involving our animal pals we might find next.